Bennett appears to hint at Israeli involvement in attack on Iran nuclear site in one of his first speeches as PM. Leader says that, while Israel will defend itself, it will also work with allies to block an Iranian bomb, breaking from Netanyahu's policy. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett appeared to hint at Israel's role in a recent attack on an Iranian nuclear site during a speech at a graduation ceremony for Israeli Air Force pilots on Thursday. "Our enemies know, not from statements, but from actions, that we are much more determined and much more clever, and that we do not hesitate to act when it is needed," Bennett said in his speech at the IF's Hatzerim Air Base, outside Beersheba. His remarks came a day after an alleged drone attack on an Iranian centrifuge production facility outside Tehran, which reportedly damaged the site. In his speech, one of his first since taking over as premier earlier this month, Bennett referred to Israel's strike on Iraq's nuclear reactor nearly 40 years ago. The attack, dubbed Operation Opera, was the first implementation of what has become known as the Begin Doctrine, named for then Prime Minister Menachem Begin, which favors taking military action unilaterally, if necessary, in order to prevent enemy countries in the Middle East from obtaining nuclear weapons. Bennett said Israel's prime ministers have always had a sacred responsibility not to allow an existential threat to the state of Israel. Then it was Iraq, today it is Iran. Speaking at the same event, Defense Minister Benny Gantz also discussed Iran's nuclear program, threatening to conduct a military strike against it if necessary, as Israel did in the case of Iraq in 1981. As though no time has passed, today in Iran, as it was 40 years ago in Iraq, a murderous and dangerous enemy, which is building arms of terror around the state of Israel, seeks to acquire a nuclear weapon to threaten Israel and the stability of the entire region, Gantz said. In his remarks, the Prime Minister indicated that Israel was breaking from the policy of his predecessor, Benjamin Netanyahu, of refusing to engage with the United States about its plan to rejoin the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. The previous Israeli government effectively refused to discuss the matter with the US except to express its profound opposition to the